Okay, hi everybody. For those who don't know who I am the founder of the Bully Effect, Penny Jean. In the anti-bully community, I am known as the anti-bully diva. So, welcome, Ephraim. Welcome to the Bully Effect. I see that you are watching live. Ephraim, if you can please do so, would you please share this live feed on my wall? The things that have been going on this past weekend. First, I want to start out by saying, as I said, I am the creator of this page. At one time, it used to be an anti-bully podcast show. Well, guess what? We going live now. Because there are things that just need to be said. And I feel this falls well within the anti-bully community. Hello, Ephraim. How are you doing today, doll? And we have Peaches. Peaches, welcome to the Bully Effect. And you know who I am. But for all intents purposes, instead of calling me Sweet Pea, we are just today on the show going to call me the anti-bully diva. Because that's who I am and that's what I do. The thing I want to talk about today, it's not even a thing. I, in my opinion, and the opinion of many others, want to talk about a group that I feel, and we have Muffin, welcome Muffin, and we have Holly, oh, my bestie, my sister going back to childhood. I want to talk about which I feel is a cult. Okay, and I actually looked up the definition. A cult is a system of religious veneration and devotion directed towards a particular figure or object. Now, the figure just happens to be a whole, check this out, a whole community. A whole community. And the community I'm talking about is the LGBTQ plus community. And for those of you watching who don't know what that stands for, we're talking about gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, plus. And the group I'm talking about is M.A.S.A. Yeah, let's not call me ma'am there, Sunshine. And you're not Sunshine, but you're Muffin. M.A.S.A, what do they stand for? Make America Straight Again. Which it does well fall within the guidelines of a cult. Hello there, Kevin, aka Peaches. Hope everybody's doing wonderful today. Make America Straight Again, M.A.S.A for short. Headed up, from what I gather, is a pastor from Faithful Word Baptist Church, which is a fundamentalist independent Baptist church in Temple, Arizona. And his name is Pastor Stephen L. Anderson. This past weekend, they had a 3-day conference in Florida in the very same area of the Pulse incident. Now, I do not have to give any detail of what the Pulse incident is because everybody in the world knows it. Now, M.A.S.A, hello, honey. M.A.S.A, they call the LGBTQ plus community retrobates. Now, what does a retrobate mean? A sinner who is not of the elect and is predestined to damnation. What do I find wrong with this? Where do I begin? First of all, they're spreading hate speech. Okay? That's not cool. And they're spreading hate speech through the name of God, which is really not cool. And we were going back and forth this weekend. By the way, even though I am not, I am an ally to the community. I have many friends and whom I consider family, a part of the LGBTQ plus community. Louise. Hi, Louise. I have friends and whom I hold very close and dear to me, including my sidekick here on the Bully Effect, Stephen Lewis. He's been helping me out for the past 5+ years. I've been doing the Bully Effect for over 8 years. In less than a year and a half, I will be doing the Bully Effect for a decade. And from day one, I never tolerated any kind of bullying whatsoever from adults because we all should know better. Well, it's evident that some of us don't. Because when you talk about, and this is even hard for me to say, when you talk about and wish for the death of certain people of whom I love very much and are very dear and have been anti-bully advocates, my friends, when you wish for their demise, when you say in public that everybody in the community that I'm speaking about, they all are rapists and pedophiles, their definition of LGBT stands for let God burn them. You're talking genocide, which is a cult. And that's why I said cult. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. This is the first official live feed of the Bully Effect. And yes, I am very highly upset. Highly upset. Because what gives them the power or the right to judge another human being? I mean, one of them at this meeting, which shout out to YouTube, because every time they put a live feed up, YouTube knocked them down. So shout out to YouTube for that. Can everybody hear me? I hope so. Well, I hope you all can hear me. And I'm just highly upset about this. And some of them were quoting, like, I believe it was this pastor Steve Anderson. He went on to say, I wish they would all just shoot themselves in the head. A whole community of people. Genocide of their fellow human beings. All under the name of God. Why do I find that offensive? Because a lot of you know that, I'm a certified youth pastor. I do believe in God, but I believe in God's truth. And what they're portraying is hypocrisy. They go against what God put us forth on this planet to do, and that's to love as God loves us. It didn't mean just a few selective people. It meant everybody. So that's what I do. I love God as God loves me. And I'm trying not to get choked up here, but just the goings on back and forth I had with M.A.S.A, which I showed here on the Bully Effect, shared with various groups, told me that I must not love my kids or my grandkids because I don't hate the LGBT community. Which they told me that I'm only thinking of myself. And if I thought of myself, I wouldn't even be the anti-bully diva. If I thought of myself, I wouldn't be helping with all the self-harm people that come to me, and trust me, there's a lot. And some because of radical cults like this. It's just unbelievable. I can't even fathom it. I just, you know, it puts in the mind of somebody else. And he too wanted the demise of a certain people or even community. And we know how that went. And that person's name was Adolf Hitler. That's what these people remind me of. Adolf Hitler. You know, and I've been working closely with Pastor Kevin. He can't be here or watch this episode tonight, but, or Pastor David, rather, I'm sorry. We've been working close in hand, and we will be working a lot together in the near future. He is a pastor. He is also gay. I don't know who that was from, but I'm going to continue on with this live feed. Yes, I am in the comfort of my own home. But he sent me a video from the protesters that were there at this conference that these radicals were doing this past weekend. And there was this little girl, and she stood out to me. As she said, love is love, you know, and I agree. God is love. God isn't hate. And this is why there are a lot of people in the community turning their way against, you know, God. And I'm not going to force what I believe on anybody. I don't believe in that. I do support everybody for what they don't believe in. I won't do that. I have friends that are atheists. I have friends that are Wiccans. I have friends that are Muslim. The list goes on. And we all have this one common goal, and that is to stop bullying. I also have Christian friends, and the Christian friends I know don't believe in this. Neither do I. Well, she was holding up a sign, and it said, and I quote, "If Jesus had two dads, why can't I?" He did. He had two dads. If you follow, you know, this kind of belief, Jesus obviously was the Son of God, but he also had a human dad, and his name was Joseph. And that's what she was referring to. But do you get the point? But I came back at him, of course, Everybody knows I have a big mouth, and I'm going to stand up for what's right. I'm going to stand up for myself and what I believe in. And I didn't think it was fair. They called me a sodomite. You know, just, what are your thoughts on this out there? Justin Preston is supposed to be joining me, or was supposed to. I know he's charging his phone. So if anybody wants to join me, hit it, I'll bring in. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask. But the bully effect is going to come back in full force. The anti-bully is going to up her voice, and in a live feed kind of way. What do we have here? Okay. So, but, if you want to let me know, because I'm not used to doing this live feed myself. I'm getting used to it. I'm used to being a guest, I was a guest with David. I was a guest with Kevin. I was a guest with Ephraim. I was a guest, obviously, with Stephen. But yeah, I wanted to talk on this. And I just cannot believe some of the stuff they were saying about other human beings. It's unconscionable. It's unmentionable. Ephraim. Well, I'm glad I'm doing great. I'm trying really hard not to cry, for real, because I am so upset about this. How a person can wish the demise of a whole community, and then telling to the world that this community are nothing but rapists and pedophiles. When they say that, they're talking about my friends. They're talking about the very people who've been trying to help me put an end to bullying. They're talking about Kevin. They're talking about David. They're talking about Ephraim. They're talking about Stephen. That hurts me. And definitely, if I'm going to stand up for my friends, you better damn well believe I'm going to stand up for myself. So, I basically, in a nutshell, told them they are not God. They have no right to judge. And anything that is not of God, which includes hate, includes thought of murder, is, well, to me, in my line of belief, is of the devil. Plain and simple. And it's got to be stopped. It needs to be stopped. So, I hope that they're watching. I hope they get news of this live feed, because this is specifically about M.A.S.A. And I'm going to break down each member as days go on. But the one I wanted to talk about today was Pastor Steven Anderson, because he seems to be the leader of this radical group. But, on a side note, I wasn't the only one, and neither was, the pastor who's been helping me. We weren't the only one that was putting the word out there. There's a YouTuber, and he's quite popular, and I found myself on his side. They call him Mr. Atheist. He normally, generally, doesn't, call for, YouTube to shut down other people's YouTube channels or to stop their live feeds, except for this one. He called for their, I can't even remember the term, but he just wanted them to be shut down, and he was the one that was pretty much responsible for YouTube shutting them down. Get it together here, anti-bully diva. But well, I just wanted to address this issue, and I want the people, my friends, my fellow human beings out there in the LGBTQ plus community to know that not every believer believes that way. I wouldn't want to wish death. I mean, if there are people out there that deserve death, don't get me wrong, but that's not my call. And I am talking about the ones that literally rape kids, murder kids, rape women, rape or rape other human beings, murder other human beings. Okay. I believe my opinion is something needs to be done about that, but it's not my judgment call. And I know I'm not alone on that, but to blatantly, out and out say that every member of the LGBTQ plus community are nothing but pedophiles and rapists, are you kidding me? I so want this Pastor Steven Anderson to go on the Ellen DeGeneres show and tell her to her face, straight to her face, I dare them. I dare them. And I'm sure that I'm not going to be the only person to talk about this. I'm sure plenty more, and I'm sure Mr. Atheist out there, which, I'm going to publicly say thank you to that man, because he was the front runner to deplatforming. That's the word I'm looking for. Deplatforming. That's what he wanted done. And for the most part, he did. They tried to go through loopholes and different ways of getting it out on social or on YouTube, and YouTube kept putting the plugs to it. Why? Because it's hate speech. Hate speech leads to hate crimes, which we're all very aware of that. Case in point, Pulse. Listen, and then I had one of their followers tell me, oh yeah, you're so upset because somebody else has a different opinion. Okay, it's one thing to have an opinion. Okay? But we're talking about the complete genocide of a whole damn community. That's not an opinion. That's cruelty. That's beyond cruelty. That's beyond hate. That's beyond bullying. That's wishing the murder of a whole community, of my fellow human beings, because I don't like to have labels. I don't. Let me see, Jeff Lang. Hello, love. I've been watching you on Ephraim's party. You didn't know I've been here the whole time. Oh, I am so sorry. Hello, Jeff. I didn't mean to ignore. I'm just trying to get this, off my chest. I really am. If you've been following along, you know what I'm talking about. M.A.S.A, Make America Straight Again. They go beyond a radical fundamentalist group. They are, in my opinion, in the category of a cult, wishing the total genocide of a whole community of people. A community of people whom I love very dearly. Whom, my best friends are all gay, or bisexual, or transgender, or lesbian, or pansexual. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about today. My goal for the Bully Effect Live. My goal for the Bully Effect Live here is to have multiple guests. I mean, the same. Let me see. I've been watching the whole time, and I've been replying, but you haven't seen my replies. Yeah, for some reason, this is the first time I'm seeing any of your comments there, Jeff Black, or Blank. Is it Blank? Yeah, my eyes are bad. I'm sorry, honey. But, Jeff, I see you. And now I guess it's let me do it. But thank you for being a part of this. Okay, you heard it all. Good. Feel free to share. I haven't seen any of your comments, but if you want to comment again, feel free to do so. But, and you learned about M.A.S.A. Yeah. And didn't know there was a group like this. Yeah. Well, it was brought to my attention by another voice over the course of the weekend. I had no idea until she mentioned this to me. But yeah, they exist. They even had a 3-day conference in Florida over it. But yeah, I'm pissed. So, but yeah, this used to be, this used to be an anti-bully podcast show. I'm going to go on live now. It'll be the same principle where I'll have various guests, but this time via live feed. Come on to the Bully Effect. I guess I will not have my intro music. Kind of, sort of going to miss that. Let me see. Ephraim, just justify my daily post on my page. You want to like me and add me as your friend. Okay. I had to send him to the page to like the page. He must have got it. Okay. Alright. Well, thank you, Kevin. And sure, Jeff, after the live feed here, I'll send you a friend request. You live in Spokane, Washington, and last weekend they had a drag queen reading to children at the public library. Imagine the chaos there. Oh, no, I've seen about that on social media, too. I mean, we'll get more into that on a different episode. This episode is dedicated to M.A.S.A. Make America Straight Again, headed up by Stephen L. Anderson. And in my opinion, is a complete joke on the human race. And with that being said, being the real Christian that I am not going to want the demise of M.A.S.A. Why? I'm not God. But Neither is he. And how he wants the community to be totally wiped out is through our government. He wants the government to kill every member in the LGBTQ plus community. That's his goal. I'm here and I'll annoy you just like I do Kevin, Ephraim, Stephen, and David. Make America straight again. I don't know if they were the ones that was across the street. That's why I mentioned. They weren't in Spokane, Washington. I don't believe so, because they were, they had this 3-day convention down in Florida in the same area as Pulse. Okay, Kevin says you're awesome, Jeff. You're not annoying, and it's very hard to annoy me unless you're M.A.S.A. M.A.S.A annoys me. Let me see. You are. Oh yeah. Okay. Let me see. I'm going to get used to this live feed sooner or later because I'm going to be doing this a lot more often. And since, Stephen is getting his, legs wet out there with speaking publicly, of course I'm going to have him as a guest on the Bully Effect, as I am many others. As I want to with Justin Preston. He's been a guest on the Bully Effect when it was a podcast show. Of course, my pastor friend, David, I'm going to have him on as a guest. We will be working a lot because I'm a youth pastor. He is a pastor. Let's see. I believe other small groups in different communities are setting up, but like I said, I don't know if they claim to be M.A.S.A. Well, there's a lot more churches joining this cult, I can tell you that much. And as, the days go on, I'm going to talk about each member that head up this M.A.S.A, this joke on mankind, this group that likes to spread hate in the name of God. That's their front. That's the cover-up. Got to see what time it is. Oh, wow. I've already been doing the Bully Effect for over a half hour. I guess I had a lot to say. And I'm not done yet. But yeah, when they had said that every member of this community is, a pedophile, a rapist, what have you, I had to point out a fact that the person who was responsible for raping me when I was 11 was not gay. They also believe in beating their children. They also believe that women should be seen and not heard. Of course, this is one woman who's got an extremely big mouth. Good luck with that. But yeah, they say in the Bible it says to beat your kids. Okay. Yeah. No, not gonna happen. That's called child abuse. When you beat your kids like that, it's called child abuse. So, if there are anybody in the community that was watching this conference take place, if there is anybody in the community that is a part of, I don't know, children's services, Justin, Preston, yeah. Oh, that's Jasmine Thompson. Jasmine, welcome to the Bully Effect. I'm sorry, my eyes are bad. Jasmine, yes, I remember you. I was supposed to come on to your show. This is my first official live show here on the Bully Effect. Jasmine, we are talking about M.A.S.A, Make America Straight Again, which I believe, in my opinion, is a cult, headed up by Stephen L. Anderson from Faithful Word Baptist Church, a fundamentalist independent Baptist church in Temple, Arizona. M.A.S.A, yeah, they gotta go down. I don't know for sure, but I believe that it is in the Old Testament and Jesus fulfilled the Old Testament. Correct. He can feed on it to the cross and getting right. That's the whole thing right there. For those who believe the way I do, I'm not saying everybody gotta believe the way I do. I wouldn't force what I believe on anybody. Like I said, I have friends probably with every religion known to man, or no religion at all. I'll say, okay, never heard of them. If they are a hate group, yes, they must go. Well, they exist. And you can check it out on social media. Good luck with YouTube, because, they've been banning their live feeds the whole weekend because they just got done having a conference, 3-day conference in Florida, down where the Pulse incident happened. And I'm telling this to Jasmine. Yeah, M.A.S.A, Make America Straight Again. And what they are, Jasmine, they are a group of radicals where we know what the LGBT community stands for in our anti-bullying world, but what it stands for in their hateful, ridiculously hateful world, their LGBT stands for let God burn them. They want the total demise of a whole community. Each and every person. Each gay man. Each lesbian woman. Each bisexual person. Each transgender person. And the list goes on and on within that community. They want them all dead. Dead. That's genocide. That's a cult. And then there's no way to go around that. That is a genuine, bona fide cult. That's what we're talking about, Jessica. M.A.S.A, Make America Straight Again. I will do my research on them. They sound pretty bad. They're more than bad. Okay, I mean, before YouTube shut them down, during some of their broadcasts or what have you, the leader, Pastor Stephen Anderson, was heard saying that they should all shoot themselves in the head. That the government, our government here in the United States, should kill each and every last one of them. They say, and I quote, the LGBTQ plus community are nothing but pedophiles and rapists. Every one of them. Everyone. Actually, Jessica, after I get done here off the Bully Effect, I'm going to share something with you that actually you will hear it for yourself. That this is not made up. I shared this with various people already. But the BBC actually did a story on it, and that's where, because YouTube has been banning them for hate speech, and as we know, hate speech leads to hate crimes, and to give a reference of hate crime, pulse. Yeah, that's horrible. That's beyond horrible. Okay, because where I come from, how I believe, God is love. God is not about hate. He is not about the genocide of a whole community of people. I don't even like using labels as gay, lesbian, bisexual, or transgender, or pansexual. I like to call them my fellow human beings. Say, Jesus took the beating, took the bullying to the cross. He was the last one to take it all for us. Yes, Jeff Blank, you're right. How I believe, and I'm assuming how Jeff believes, and I know it's how David believes. When Jesus was born and when he died on that cross, he tore the holy veil away that was steeped in tradition, the old way, the old religion. As we all know, Jesus himself was a rebel. The apostles are made up of, well, misfits. Of course, we all sin and fall short of the glory. But my question is, when was love a sin? God, to me, is love. He said to love your neighbor as you love yourself, or as he loves us. My neighbors include fellow like-minded believers such as myself. My neighbors include gay men. My neighbors include lesbians. My neighbors include bisexuals. My neighbors include transgender. So on and so forth. My neighbors include atheists. My neighbors include Buddhists. My neighbors include Muslims, Jews, Wiccan. You should see the variety of people I have on my friends list. And I don't judge a single person because that's not my job. My job is to love. Love as God loves me. And that's not a sin. This voice texting is not working well for me. Let's see. Jasmine, I love the family that I have that happen to choose to be gay. I have a lot in my family, and a lot. You have people just like me, Jasmine, pretty much. Jeff, he says, does it mean that work to go out and send and continue to send and keep asking for forgiveness? Okay. Kevin goes and washed away our sin. I am a show the respect me and I respect you kind of person. Yes, right, type of person. The same as myself, like, but what sets me apart with a lot of the believers, I'm not saying all the believers because there are people like-minded, and I just said that. What sets me apart is because I got a big mouth and I'm not afraid to use it. And that was Lucy. Say hi. There's a lot I'm fighting for here. I'm not only fighting for your kids and your generations to come, fighting for my own. I have 6 grandkids. I fight for them. And I just wonder in my head, people who belong to this M.A.S.A group, if one of your sons or one of your daughters would come to you and say, Dad, well, I fell in love with a man, I've been gay, or I am gay, does that mean you want me dead too? That question popped into my head. I mean, no, well, I guess if you're going to beat your kids, you know, because they believe in that. Yeah, hi Lucy. I'm not, you get some camera time. Yeah. So, there's going to be a lot more of the Bully Effect live. If you would like to be, a guest on the show, you can inbox me here on the page, myself or Steven. He's my right-hand man. He's been helping me with the Bully Effect for a little over 5 years now. I've been doing the Bully Effect for a long time. I go way beyond what was then a podcast show, what is now a live feed. I go way beyond those boundaries. I help out adults and kids who self-harm. Some of them because they were bullied. Some of them because they were bullied for being gay, straight, bisexual, transgender. You see where I'm going with this. And nobody should ever feel less than human. And that's what M.A.S.A is doing, is making a whole community feel like they are not worth the ground they walk on. Ladies and gentlemen, it's called a cult. Ladies and gentlemen, voices, young and old, near and far, I'm taking a stand against M.A.S.A. So, I'm kind of wanting your help to help me stand against M.A.S.A. Well, maybe one day, I can't see, so we watching here? Okay. But, so, this is me, Jessica, this is what I do. We'll have to get together again on a different day, so where I can join you in your podcast. I've already been on various other podcasts. For some reason, the Bully Effect here of late has been a hot topic. Well, you know my thoughts. You know how I feel. Most of you know I got a big mouth, and I'm not afraid to use it. You know that I will stand, even if I have to stand by myself, which I know I don't have to. I'm just saying if I have to. I will do it. I will stand by myself. You can also, on other social media, on Twitter, you can follow The Bully Effect, at The Bully Effect Are. Everything that is posted here on Facebook, on the Facebook page, is automatically posted to Twitter. I am now on Instagram, so you can find me there. So there will be a lot of exciting and upcoming live feeds here on the Bully Effect. But I want to thank... I wish I could see better. But I want to thank everybody for, joining me on this live feed. Not so bad. Stay tuned tomorrow when I talk about the second person in this cult called M.A.S.A, because he is not doing this alone. Pastor Stephen Anderson is not doing this alone. There are a few people, and their cult, believe it or not, is growing. So this is just day one. So I am going to be back here tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. Well, thank you, Ephraim. I know you're here with me. I know Jasmine is here with me. Jeff Blank, now you are here with me. Of course, Stephen Lewis, he's got my back. I know Kevin's got my back. I know David's got my back. Pastor David's got my back. Justin Preston's got my back. There is a list that goes on and on and on. And I just want to say something. When I started the Bully Effect, I only had 37 voices, but they were consistent. And a little over 8 years later, with the help of Stephen, I am now over 17,000 voices strong. And we keep growing. To me, it's not about numbers. It could still be 37 voices. I'm still going to be doing it. Because how do you change the world, folk? By changing one little world at a time. Yep, I know you do. I know you do, Peaches. You got my back. I know you do, Sunshine. I know you do, Muffin. I know you do, Cupcake. And I got a few, I like to give out nicknames, but they're endearing to me. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up for today, but I want to thank you for joining me. I want to thank you for your constant support. I would like to, tell everybody that my prayers and thoughts are with you. Whatever you're fighting, you're not fighting alone as long as I live and breathe. And my motto here on the Bully Effect is be a voice. And now I've kicked it up a notch. Be a voice and beyond. So, I'm the Anti-Bully Diva. This is the Bully Effect Live. On the behalf of myself and Stephen Lewis, everybody enjoy your evening. See you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern. God bless.